That night, the stadium transformed into a sea of light. Tens of thousands of purple lightsticks rose into the air, moving like the waves of a boundless ocean. Army screams echoed through every corner of the arena, bouncing off the walls, off the ceiling, off the hearts of the thousands of people who had gathered that night with one common goal: to see BTS. The air felt warm, filled with energy, filled with a love that was hard to describe. This wasn't just another concert. It was a world unto itself, alive for only a few hours, and tonight that world was pulsing with all its might. On the magnificent stage, giant lights lit up the show nonstop. A world-class sound system pumped out a bass thump that could be felt right down to the bone. Every detail was perfectly crafted, from the choreography rehearsed hundreds of times to the eye-popping visual effects. This was the result of months of hard work, thousands of hours of practice, and sacrifices never seen by any camera. And tonight, it was all shining before the world. Jungkook stood on the right side of the stage, waiting his turn to return to the center of the arena. A thin layer of sweat glistened on his forehead, his breathing slightly labored from his previous movements, but his eyes shone with excitement. To his left, Taehyung stood erect, his black hair slightly messy, his signature smile still tugging at the corners of his lips. They both felt the same thing, the overwhelming thrill of a live stage, of an audience that loved them unconditionally. "Ready?" Jungkook asked, turning to Taehyung as he adjusted his earpiece. Taehyung looked back, his eyes sparkling. "Always," he replied briefly, but confidently. That was how they communicated on stage, brief, concise, and trusting. No words were needed. Years together had taught them a language that didn't require words. A look was enough. A nod was more than enough. And tonight, under the spotlight of thousands of watts of stage lights, the two prepared for the next part of a performance that millions had been waiting for. But that night, something felt different. No one noticed it at first. Not the audience, not the crew, not even the BTS members, who were concentrating intently on their performance. But high above their heads, behind the giant light installation hanging from the stage rig, a tiny spark began to grow silently. Just a stray pinprick of light. Just a single cable connection that had been under too much strain for hours of performance. Just a tiny detail that had gone unnoticed among the thousands of others that had to be taken care of that night. The spark grew, slowly at first, like an ember waiting for the wind. It crept along the cable, touching the edge of the decorative fabric hanging gracefully from the side of the rig. The fabric, chosen for its beauty, for the way it shimmered under the spotlight, proved to be the perfect fuel. In seconds that felt like a slow-motion nightmare, the spark turned into a tiny flame, and it began to lick everything it could reach. A technician in the corner of the stage was the first to see it. His face paled. He pressed the communication button in his ear with a trembling hand, trying to make sure what he was seeing wasn't an illusion from the fatigue of a long night. But it wasn't. The fire was real, and it was growing. "Fire! There's a fire on the North Rig!" he shouted into his headset. That word, that one word, immediately changed everything. Behind the scenes, panic moved faster than the fire itself. Instructions overlapped in the crew's headsets. The stage manager shouted for confirmation. The security team began moving to secure the evacuation route. And in the midst of it all, the music blaring majestically from the giant speakers suddenly stopped, abrupt, brutal, like a breath cut off mid-sentence. The silence lasted only a split second. But in that split second, the entire stadium felt it. Tens of thousands of ARMY who had been singing along suddenly fell silent, confused, searching with their eyes for something wrong. And then someone saw it. A flame now large enough to be seen from the audience seats, and the first scream ripped through the air. This is where the real story begins. On the right side of the stage, Jungkook felt something change even before he saw it. His instincts, honed by years on stage, warned him before his eyes caught the first puff of smoke. He turned and saw the fire, real, blazing, and dangerous. In one long breath, his mind processed everything. The evacuation route, the positions of the other members. And then where is Taehyung? His eyes search, sweeping across the stage, which is now starting to fill up. That night, the stadium transformed into a sea of light. Tens of thousands of purple lightsticks rose into the air, moving like the waves of a boundless ocean. ARMY screams echoed through every corner of the arena, bouncing off the walls, off the ceiling, off the hearts of the thousands of people who had gathered that night with one common goal: to see BTS. The air felt warm, filled with energy, filled with a love that was hard to describe. This wasn't just another concert. It was a world unto itself, alive for only a few hours, and tonight that world was pulsing with all its might. On the magnificent stage, giant lights lit up the show nonstop. A world-class sound system pumped out a thumping bass that could be felt right down to the bone. Every detail was perfectly crafted, from the choreography rehearsed hundreds of times to the eye-popping visual effects. This was the result of months of hard work, thousands of hours of practice, and sacrifices never seen by any camera. And tonight, it was all shining before the world.